First one?
Yeah, that looked like close to 0.
Yeah, I know.
Did they sail far
I wanted to have a look at it. It was close to 0, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good afternoon from the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship in the Cloverdale Curling Club in Surrey, BC.
Yeah.
I'm Stuart Leslie, and I'll be your commentator for this afternoon's game between Brunton and Horgan and Powers and Saunders. A big game here that we have with Brunton and Horgan are currently 5-0 at the top of the Pool D standings, where Powers and Saunders are they're in a situation where they really want to win this game. Currently 3-2, and 4-2 would guarantee them into the playoff round. So big game here in Pool D and across the remaining games that we have out here in this draw, as well as this evening's draw.
It's good.
Line's good. Line's good.
It's good.
Line's good. Close. Straight.
Got it curled. A little
No,
heavy.
you don't. No, you don't. Straight.
Marley Powers with her
Okay.
first shot of the game here.
Curl. 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 Curl.
Trying to lock this on Kira Brunton's first
Go,
stone.
Marley. Let a girl. Shot. Yeah, you didn't throw it very hard. You threw a good, like, first rock.
Yeah.
Jacob Horgan now for the Ontario champions, throwing the middle 3 rocks. Kira and Jacob are curling out of the Ottawa Hunt and Golf Club
T-line.
in Ottawa, Ontario.
Back button.
Whoa, curl, whoa.
Just again trying to lock this on the yellow that's currently on the top of the button.
Nice shot, Jake. Good.
Ooh,
15.
that was heavy.
No, just
A
corner
little bit
it.
heavier than what Jake wanted, but still not a bad result.
A little less.
He's on the angle. We might want to freeze to our red.
Luke Saunders is going to try and
Line it up.
put one down there now.
Okay, line's good.
Saunders and Powers are curling out of the Halifax Curling Club in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Come take it.
Yep.
Come up.
Go for it. 16.
Further. That way's good. Whoa.
Silly shot.
Okay, nice wave.
Able to carry that one far enough.
Actually, yeah, I think we are.
16.
16.
May have over curled just a little bit, but we'll see what Jacob and Kira are going to do here.
Good guard.
They're kind of both sides.
Yeah.
That.
Seeing this.
Yeah, like that. Like, just beside
Because if
it.
they do this, it's always catching the yellow, and then we have our shooter right there to work
Yeah,
with.
like right beside it.
Looks like they're going to try and draw one down there. A freeze on that top red. We're just beside the yellow. Kind of in the top 8-foot area.
Good shot.
Mine's good.
Top 8.
Mine's good. Yep.
Top 8.
Jake likes it so far, calling out top 8 right where they wanted it.
Just needs to.
Needs to go a little. Yep. Yep.
We might have been able to get that thing there. Just died a little bit more than he thought at the end,
Touching it,
I don't know.
but still a really good
Also,
spot
just
to
go
put
hair
that
high.
red rock.
Mine is perfect.
okay.
You
Yeah.
know,
Pretty good. Like he
Yeah,
goes,
open
just
it up.
yeah, starting it and
Yeah.
just
he plants it. I think we try to plant.
7/8,
Oh,
Okay.
he's running.
3/4.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get the run back from Luke Saunders here.
Might be playing a double.
Yeah.
Luke, no stranger to making these run backs. Just out of frame of our camera here.
For probably like.
A little less, Marlon. I think it'll be okay.
They're guard, which is nice.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Bang. Bang.
Close.
Bang.
Nice shot, Luke.
Makes the run and gets 3 reds to go away. A great shot from Luke Saunders here.
Great, Charles.
Gets them out of what was shaping up to be potentially a little bit of trouble.
No, just unlock it like back 8.
Just perfect. And they keep that shooter over there as a corner guard as well. That could be big as this end continues to play out.
Touch something on the way in.
Jacob's third and final stone coming up here.
Whoa. Yep.
Touch the 8 and move the back.
Back line.
Yeah.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Looking to break up those rocks a little bit in the back 4. Just needs it to curl over a little bit more. And I think that does the trick.
Because this is going to jam.
Fair enough.
And then roll in front of this.
Yeah.
What kind of weight?
Don't know. I guess I can throw firm, hair
Hard
high.
to stick his shooter and lose ours.
10-5?
So Luke Saunders is going to be throwing a little bit of weight here.
3/4 again.
It's all good.
Try and get some of these
I think it's
rocks
more important
moving.
just to stick,
Yeah,
right?
I go heavy
Maybe
right away. Heavy,
maybe
that was like-
try and bring in some of those biter yellows. I guess that one biter yellow.
Clean.
Light.
Yep.
They called for a firm weight.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
These are straighter
Whoa.
than
Curl. 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 Whoa. Whoa. No roll.
Hard out. Anything you got. Anything you got. It all matters. It all matters. Thanks.
Nice, Luke.
He gets the rocks repositioned there. It's difficult to see if the red ended up rolling far enough to be out shooting the yellow. And it was also difficult to tell on the reaction from Kira after looking at it.
Kind
I
of looks
think-
like
I think it's
4
4.
if I do that.
They're calling it like it's us.
Really?
We can just give them 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have to roll. Like on. Yeah.
This is the final stone of the end for Brunton and Horgan.
Held it and I was like,
I
oh,
did,
we need to
yeah.
get off the line.
Do you agree? Those
Board?
Yeah.
I think we probably should.
Going to be
roll
throwing a
it.
board weight.
Roll where though?
On top of ours.
Like line them up?
Yeah.
It sounds like they're going to be looking to hit the back or the yellow that's kind of back 4 foot right now and roll in front of their own red rock.
They don't know what they want to do. So.
I don't mind the rolls, just really
What's
precise.
that?
Give me some time. Like, this is tricky stuff.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Well, like the freeze kind of brings in like the blast, like
You
nose.
should be able to hold this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if she bounces off, we're just kidding.
Yeah.
Final stone here from Kira Brunton,
Yeah.
looking to make the hit.
But if you roll
A little bit of a roll.
Probably control.
Makes the most sense, I think.
Whoa. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Jacob Horgan on the sweep here,
Whoa, you
trying to
gotta roll.
hold this. Gonna make the hits, a little bit of a roll, and I think that does the trick. It's very, I don't even know if that doubles there.
That's really good.
And Saunders and Powers, they are going to draw in here, it looks like, for their second point.
That's a lot of time.
Okay. What do you think for ice?
Well, it's just inside edge now. Like
Yeah,
you're
we
looking
can
more
run
at
into
I think
ours.
it's going to be fast still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marley Powers with the last stone here, pardon me, in end one.
No backing.
Saying out of her hand, maybe
Oh,
a little
you.
bit
Not
heavy.
curling yet. Curl.
And Luke trying to get this moving a little bit. Is it gonna stop in time? And it will not. It's gonna roll off that back red.
Yellow.
And it's just gonna be 1 point for Powers and Saunders here in the first
Too
end.
much ice.
We'll be back in just a moment.
Like
14-7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just too much ice, really. Yeah.
We're back for the second end of play here from the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championships.
Yeah, O-turns.
We have Marley Powers and Luke Saunders, who picked up a single point in the first end
Sorry.
against Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan.
Oh, okay.
Across the
Oh, my bad. Sorry,
scoreboard
Jake.
this afternoon, we have 4 other
I did
games.
ask 7, and then
Loken and Tanaka have taken a 1-0 lead on Neal and McDonald.
Oh, that would have changed the whole course of the game.
Watson and Belland have taken a 1-0 lead on Jones and Lang.
inside edge.
And the only other game reporting a score is Tremblay and Lanou on Lenneton and McFadden. It's a 5-0 game for Tremblay and Lanou there.
It's all close.
Come help.
First stone of the end for Marley here.
So light.
Trying to sink one in behind the centerline guard.
Oh,
Okay, come sweep.
And a great sweep there from
It should
Luke,
be
and
obvious when you
Marley
call it.
jumping in to help. They bring that to top forefoot.
yeah. This side's just as fast. Felt light.
Kira Brunton going to try and follow Marley down.
Lots of room. Tons of line. Pass your curl. Pass your curl.
Looking forward to curl a little bit more and finish up at the end.
Good.
That must be wrong.
No bounce, no bounce, no
No, I
bounce.
think you're right.
Good shot.
Bumps it a little bit, but that's just fine.
I'm seeing the in O turn, inside, freeze.
Okay, yeah, because we're proper shot now. Yep, I like that.
You go on the other side of me.
Okay. I was edge.
Yeah.
Okay.
What size is that one? Oh, yeah. I'm good.
Luke Saunders now going to try and freeze on that red stone
30.
that was just thrown by Kira.
Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. It's dead light. Go, 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 go.
Thinking that it's a little bit light here. They're going to have to try and drag it the rest of the way.
Sit.
Yeah, it's good. Leave it.
Okay.
And that's going to stay as a tight guard there. So a little bit light.
Sorry.
What weight are you seeing?
So we're seeing
But
control,
for
like lose our shooter.
Marley
Yeah, like roll it
and Luke, still not a bad spot. They're sitting shot stone right now with that yellow that's just nibbling top button. And I think we're going to see a little bit of weight coming here from Jacob Horgan. Try and get said yellow rock moving out of there.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Curl.
Jacob gets up to sweep his own rock. Needs a little bit on the finish here, it looks like. But is able to move the yellow stone enough.
Where are we going here? Freeze?
Not bad.
And red is now sitting 2
In
for
turn,
the
around
team
everything.
from Ontario.
Get inside that yellow, right, babe?
Yeah, I haven't thrown here since the first practice.
Protected
So.
the roll off too much.
They've been throwing here last end.
Okay.
All right, I think I'm looking at that red rock.
Yeah.
Sounds like Luke's going to be throwing his in turn here down the side of the sheet that hasn't been played as much. So maybe a little bit of uncharted territory here, but both of these teams had an opportunity in their pre-game practice to learn the sheet.
Straight.
You're making that double if she's in there?
Move, Marley, move, move, move.
Weight's good. Weight's good. I'm gonna drop back. Straight, straight, straight! Hard! Whoa! You're on the top
Just
one. You're on
grabbed
the
a
top
little
one.
bit of curl there. And is going to rub off of the top red stone.
Looks like a peel weight to me.
Again, maybe just a result of it being a bit of a fresher side and
If we can do that.
catching a little bit of fresh pebble there.
Like 7/8?
Yep.
Heavy.
Nose is pretty good.
Yeah.
They won't have much.
So
room
now
guard.
Jacob Horgan is going to try and get both of those yellows moving out of the rings.
Did you get the log? Yeah, so speed was good.
Yeah.
Speed was fine, right?
Yeah, you would have bumped
15.5.
that a little. Yeah.
Like
Just needed to be on
that
line.
side.
Yeah.
Third stone of the end for Team Ontario here. Down by 1, but with hammer and looking to apply some pressure on the Nova Scotia duo.
Well, you're on nose.
Hits it on
Nice shot.
nose.
Really nice.
Catches his red one, but the red one stays
Need a holder, please.
in the back there.
Good throw. You threw that.
And they're now sitting 3, but an opportunity back here for Nova Scotia to get rid of
A little bit of
at
ice.
least one of these red stones that's in a troublesome spot for them.
I can get this moving.
Yeah, I just want to kill one of them.
If my weight's good, I can get it moving.
Okay.
I don't know if he can get shot.
So Luke Saunders looking to eliminate the red rock that Jacob just threw. Based on the conversation that he and Marley were having, it sounds like
Lean.
maybe going to try and get some extra curl at the end of this and
Whoa. Whoa.
maybe be able to bump that red one a little bit more out into the open.
Curl, curl.
Yeah.
Straight, 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 straight.
Really did get it moving.
Take it.
and moves both of the red rocks. Doesn't eliminate any of them,
Double off our own.
but they are shot rock behind a couple of guards.
Yeah, it's an easier shot, isn't it?
It may just be open a
I think it's
touch.
a better lead.
Yeah, I like that more.
Okay. Okay. Your
I
control
might adjust
weight-
from the hack, but I think that's close.
Your control weight didn't
Ah.
do it. Whichever you like. Do you want to go the hack and see?
I like the chase.
Okay. Hack?
All day. No, let's play that.
That's why I like killing one of those.
Well, you didn't call it to kill it.
That wasn't enough weight to kill.
So it's
You know what I'm saying, though.
there's a little bit of a conversation on what shot to throw there between Kira and Jacob.
I think it was a good call.
Kind of talking about a control weight hit or a lighter weight shot.
Stay with it.
I believe that they settled on the control weight
Same.
Yeah.
and
If I
come
think
off
that
of their
roll-
red one, I believe, to get rid of that yellow.
And killed it, obviously, but like you can give the slash a go. You know.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Stalling. Roll in.
And Jake is just gonna nose his own.
Yeah.
So not
Yeah, 10.5.
not what Jake and Kira were looking to do there, and it's
Roll
gonna
under.
give Marley and Luke now an opportunity with their
Roll a little
last
bit, you're safe.
to apply some pressure. Was looking like for most of that end that that we could be seeing a multiple point score for Kira and Jake, but now Nova Scotia with an opportunity to maybe steal. Who knows?
All right, stick around here. Get under.
Do you think she
If
can
they're
come
only
off
two,
with
I have
hers?
like a slash.
Yes,
attack.
she can, but she can't get it for 2 if you
Do
roll
we ever
under.
hit that one and roll under?
No, because it's for 1.
I thought that was gonna be close.
Okay.
It was
Five.
close for
Like
most of the way.
It's that same like.
Like at the
Marley
front,
Powers
I
gonna be
thought
throwing a
it
hit
just
here.
bounced into the open.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa.
A nice controlled weight.
Curl. 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 Easy. Straight. Whoa. Curl. Curl. Roll, 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 roll.
Good.
She is going to make the hit and roll into the 4-foot to sit 2. With the Ontario final
Spot's
stone
dangerous,
from
man.
Kira Brunton coming up.
Dangerous, Maverick. The curls.
Yeah. Just take my water bottle.
Who does?
You.
I know.
You had mine before and it's
Oh, this is it.
Oh wait.
good.
Hack?
This rock should just have a bit of extra bite, I think.
Okay. What are we taking? I think I can still hold it.
Come on, just flashing.
Sure.
Do you like that?
Kira saying there in the hack that the rocks have a little bit of extra bite in them. So they're getting a little bit more curl maybe than they might have expected.
Whoa! Yeah! Whoa!
Jacob Horgan with the sweep here early. The off and on is usually a pretty good sign, but this is going sideways hard.
Hard!
Gets a little bit of a rub off the top yellow, but still eliminates one. It is a steal of 1, though, for Powers and Saunders. Here in the second end, they're up 2-0. We'll be back from the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship
You
in
had
just
the
a minute.
idea out of her hand. You had the right idea.
We're back to the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championships in Surrey, BC for the third end of our feature matchup here between Marley Powers and Luke Saunders, going up against Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan.
I think you got to tighten the lineup. We'll say
It was
that.
a steal for Powers and Saunders in the second end to go up 2-0.
Nice weight.
And now here's Marley Powers throwing the first stone of the end. And if I were betting, I would say this is going to be a freeze or a top 4 throw here. Both Luke and Marley helping to bring this this stone right to the button.
Quarter freeze with the in.
And then we're going to get Kira Brunton, follow them down with a corner freeze as well.
I got there. Room. Where?
Back button.
Curl if you're heavy. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Jacob Horgan trying to make this curl. It's a little bit heavy though. Gonna bump the stone in the back of the forefoot, and now there's a couple of catchers back there. The Nova Scotia duo, pardon me, of Marley Powers and Luke Saunders going to try and follow them down.
Okay, line's good.
Weight's good.
Line's good.
Weight's good.
Line's good.
Weight's good.
Got a little bit of room. No, line's good. Curl. 16, curl. Nice shot, Lukey.
And they're going to be able to drag it there. A good shot from Luke Saunders. And now a backline weight here from Jacob Horgan, trying to break those 2 rocks up and leave the shooter, importantly, kind of frozen on the top of them.
Oh. Yep. 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 Hard. Hard.
Tell Wayne
Jake
I'm
sweeping hard to try and get this by the guard, but he's not going to get it past.
just sweating here.
He
Kenny.
wrecks on the top yellow guard and spills the shooter in.
Scared.
Guard. Or hit this.
Ah, shoot.
I was thinking if anything you hit that one, but
He's got to come off that
The
really
forfeits are
thin.
like-
no, just hit and roll to center.
Oh, yeah, that would be good if you can roll to here.
I don't love it.
No, just guard.
Well, yeah.
Okay, tuck a piece.
I don't think you even have to tuck. It's never going anywhere.
Okay,
Just guard it wide.
okay.
Do you agree?
Good discussion there from Luke and Marley.
I can run like that.
And they've settled on the guard. Sounds like they do not want to overlap the with the existing guard that's already up there.
Do you want ice where you're gonna
It's
want
good.
it?
Line's
I
good.
think so. On this side.
Over and off.
I think we play the guard on this one.
Are you higher than this one?
Yeah.
Okay, just let it sit. Just let it sit. Needs to sit. 6, 17. Sit.
Oh, I'll just curl. Don't
The
worry.
rock is going to stop just past the Mixed Doubles Curling Championship logo. Does the trick.
Do you want to play just a hair more weight, same line?
No, I think Pio try the double.
They're just gonna sink one.
And it's 3-on-1.
Yeah, that was too bad. That was a nice little throw.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Hard early, I guess.
Yeah, but it was like.
So it sounds like Jacob Horgans here is going to throw some weight and try and get both of those yellows moving out of the forefoot. Makes contact and makes both of the yellows go away. Great shot there from Jacob Horgan.
That was dicey. Oh,
Good throw.
You were holding your breath there for a second when
I always have
when
a
Jake kind of
Let's do it,
stopped
babe.
close to the hog line, but
How do you like hit and roll?
great shot.
No turn draw. Let's go.
Right
Got
to it.
just enough of it. And then just missed their back red one as well.
Here more.
kind of saying you follow this one, stay nose shot, and then I can try something.
So red sitting 3 here
Like you're
with hammer,
good T-line.
but now Luke Saunders is going to try and come around those staggered center guards.
It feels
And
good.
you could get one in a really good
It feels
position
good.
here.
Rim. Line. Curl. Line's getting better.
Right now, a little bit wide. Luke trying
Line.
to curl. And it sure is moving over.
wow, you got that to
A lot of curl here.
Okay, that's good.
And it settles in behind those center guards. Good shot from Luke.
I could do that.
Yep.
Half?
Yeah, I swept it well. Got it moving. No worries, keep them coming.
So Jacob now going to be throwing a bit of a softer weight here.
Any hole?
Try and eliminate the yellow stone that Luke just wrapped around there.
Close. Clean.
Hack!
Hack weight here from Jake, kind of an off and
Touch
on.
the five. Hope it's straight nuts.
He moves the yellow. But it does jam on their red that was back 8 foot.
Good.
They stick around with the shooter though,
You
so
just saw mine.
I just like hitting it.
but it is red sitting just the 1 now. And
3 on that.
very important for
Yep, it's your shot.
Marley
Own
and
it.
Luke is both of them are behind the T line, but I think that they are going to opt to eliminate that red that is shot stone right now.
It's all good.
Should be pretty straight here to hold.
Like these 4-foot spots just run so different. Like depending what side we're on.
Board?
I would say hack.
Okay.
It's pretty straight here.
Hack weight from Marley Powers for their final stone of this 3rd end. Looking to eliminate the red stone of Brunton and Horgan and put the pressure on them to score in the 3rd.
Yeah.
Little heavy.
Gotta go. Gotta
A little
go.
heavy.
Whoa. Close. Yep. Whoa. Curl.
Close here.
Curl.
Luke saying maybe a little bit heavy.
Curl. Try to get inside. Keep going. Keep going. Good sweep.
Trying to get this
All right.
moving a little more. They roll a little bit to the outside, and
How much did I have?
is there a double there? It's tough to tell where the top guard is blocking it.
Alright.
Just like that. Don't.
It looks like a pretty tricky double, and it would be pretty steep.
Making a shot.
I don't do anything wrong. Like,
Good early sweep. 'Cause
11
I was
and a
so
half,
top.
12?
yeah.
11 and a half.
Like it's gonna be stressed.
And they're going to be taking it on here.
You can hold it.
Here, Jake and Kira in the back having that discussion, an 11-5. So this is going to be a soft control weight. Maybe about a board.
It's good.
Little line.
And try and move both of these yellow stones and score a few points here.
Whoa, curl.
Now, the rocks have been curling a lot here, Hogline in.
Curl more.
They just get by. And Kira Brunton is able to move the second yellow. Is it enough for 2? One for sure for Ontario of Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan.
Measure, maybe?
Yeah, measure. Measure for second.
And they're going to measure it for the second point. So red for sure scoring 1 here.
Great throw. Nice shot. It's really cool.
You know when they're going back and forth and looking at it multiple times that it has to be pretty close.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to talk more about the call
It's like a
that just
50-50
happened and everything that just went down there, I'm happy to talk more. But if you just rather park it, we can park it. But
Yeah, it's fine.
yeah, I do have an opinion.
Holy cow.
Finish at 10
Measuring for the
minutes.
second red, yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Measures the yellow.
Nice shot, Kira.
And it is 2 red here in the third end for Kira Brunton and
Two
Jacob
red.
Horgan.
2 red.
It's a tie game. We'll be
Second
right
point.
back from the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling
Okay.
Championship.
Yeah. You're scaring me.
2 red. So I'm using the 2.
Use the 2, yeah.
Thanks.
Ours.
It's all squared up at a 2-2 game here between Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan, going up against Marley Powers and Luke Saunders.
Mine's really good.
Kira and Jacob are currently 5-0 in Pool D and have, I believe, locked up that pool, so they are into the playoffs.
Yep, for line.
This is a big game, though, for Marley Powers and Luke Saunders. They're currently sitting at 3-2. And while they do have a very good shootout score, 4-2 would guarantee them into the playoffs.
Your call.
3-3 would. They could be in a bit of a mess for those final playoff spots.
I think the 8 maybe wasn't played this morning. It's so curly. No, I had 11 5.
Nice, Marley.
Yeah. Room right now. Line's
Probably
good.
looking
Marley
to run
Powers
into
throwing
this.
her first stone of the end after
Wait,
Kira
good.
went and froze onto the back
Line's
yellow
good.
with her red stone.
Would like them.
Bit of room. No, line's good. Straight. Straight.
Again, you can see just how much these stones are curling from the hog line
Go,
in.
Marley.
And a great shot here from Marley to lock that on as well.
Hey, sweet.
And now Jake is going to try and do the same. Now you'll notice that Jacob and Kira have the Ontario colors on. Earlier this year, back in February, they won the Ontario Mixed Doubles Provincial Championship
Light. Gotta go.
Line's
in an
good.
extra end, actually.
Running nice. Little bit of room.
All there.
Line's really
Looks
good.
good.
Keep it clean. Yep. Yep. Yep, to stay on nose. Yep. Great shot, Jake. Really nice.
And Jake's going to go and drop that one right down on top of Marley's first stone. And now it's Luke's turn. Luke Saunders with his
Okay,
first
line's tight.
stone of this
Yep.
fourth end. These are 8 end games that they're
Line.
playing here
Yep.
this week.
Yep, line. Yep, line.
Come take it.
Straight.
All you got. Get some
It
paint.
looks like maybe going to come up a little bit light.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets to the top 12 foot, but not quite frozen to the red. And the yellow stone there from Marley Powers is still sitting shot, covering the pin. But there's not much real estate right now to try and get a second shot in there.
Felt all there to me.
Mine's a bit wide.
Sorry?
Wide. On tech a piece.
It's close.
Jake said out of his hand that it's all there, so
Mine's okay now.
then communicating that it's a little bit wide. But this looks to be curling and coming down nicely. Gonna make a corner freeze on that yellow of Luke.
Okay. I guess now it's up to like blocking her draw for 2.
Yeah. I think she has more room on this side.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Like, I
Is there a
don't
good
think we're
guard?
going to move.
Guard.
Guard. Try to do what Jake did on the intern.
Okay.
So Luke Saunders now gonna come and they were talking about a guard,
I think I'm throwing a really wide
but
guard.
I think also a corner
Mine's
freeze
good.
of some
It's
sort.
good.
He said kind of what Jake did, but on
Yep, line.
this intern side.
Okay.
And that looks like it's gonna be.
I'm still seeing the out.
Does it over curl a little bit? Maybe.
What's that?
This might be the widest that we've seen any of these teams go out so far in this game. Kira holding the broom there outside of the edge of 12 foot. And we've talked about how much curl we've seen, especially in the the last few feet of the rock traveling down the sheet. So
He shot Jake.
Jake just looking to guard the draw path and is going to successfully do that.
And I guess the same idea, just on the other side of the sheet.
Would it squirt the shooter?
Starting up the middle.
So we've heard pretty clearly what Kira and Jake are trying to do here. Guard the draw path, so Marley doesn't have a draw on her last to score multiple points.
Okay.
Okay with one, I guess.
Intern guard, cross center.
Okay with one
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I guess so. So over this ice, it's probably
Lots of ice.
a little more than edge of
Yep.
12 with the intern.
And Luke is going to be looking to guard the stone that was just thrown from Jake. Presumably, so they can't use that to run it in.
Curl.
It's good.
Curl.
Seems like they might be content with just scoring a single point here in this
You're
end.
good.
Any difference in speed out there, you thought?
I thought it was like a pinch slow, like a few feet.
Go
Like, I
down
felt
there,
like I
great
threw
throws.
like top house weight
Good job.
for that
Three
thing
inch
guard.
and draw, probably.
Yeah. Good job.
But ballpark.
Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan's last stone here in the fourth end.
Mine's good.
Powers and Saunders sitting one,
Over, it looks light.
and they are looking to guard the draw path on this side of the
Over
sheet
and off.
and try and prevent the Nova Scotia duo from scoring 2 points, but this
Give us
stone
draw
is going to
shot.
come up short of the hog
All
line.
you got.
So it's going to give Marley here an opportunity to score their two.
Like,
Yeah,
Curling is
it
fun.
was a little slower on my
Okay.
guard there.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. Wait, good.
Line's good.
Marley Powers with the last stone here. Fourth end, looking to draw the
straight.
button for that second point.
Light.
Curl a bit. Curl. Curl.
This looks close.
Line's really good.
It's going to curl over enough for sure. Is Luke
Try.
able to get it there? It's just going to come up short.
Yeah.
It's going to be one yellow for Luke Saunders and Marley Powers here in the fourth end, and they take a 3-2 lead from the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship.
Stay with it, Miss Cute. Stay with it, Quilts. What do you got? You got one, you got two. There it is in the game.
Time to go home, kiddo.
Just one more throw, please.
Thank you for making moments like these possible.
Finishing up the fourth end break here in our feature game at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship. It is Luke Saunders and Marley Powers currently off to a 3-2 lead against Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan. Taking a look at some of the other scores from across the sheets, it is Loken and Tanaka that's up 4-1 on Neal and McDonald. Lenatine and McFadden are down 11-0 to Tremblay and Lanoux right now. And then the only other game that's on the ice is the Jones and Lang game. They are up 6-1 on Watson and Belland. All of the games are through 4 ends of play.
You got it. Nice and fast.
Yeah.
Draw the button speed.
I think it's going this way. I like outturn, but it's going this way. Okay, I
Pretty
like
good
play
eye.
that curly.
Luke reminding Marley that coming out of this break that the ice is quick,
Great.
Line's good.
similar to what they
Railroad.
were throwing in the draw to the button
Easy, easy,
prior
easy.
to the game
Straight,
beginning.
Straight, straight.
I can go into it.
Okay, straight then. You gotta go
Sure,
straight.
straight?
Yes. Straight. Whoa, line's good. Line's good. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey, hit.
Good. Good judge.
Great job.
And Marley with a draw there to the back of the button, taps the red a little bit. And now we're going to see Kira Brunton try and follow her down.
You can go a little. Where?
Weight's
Yep.
good.
Clean.
T-line.
Close.
Back button.
Curl. Whoa. Curl. Curl.
Looking for a little bit of curl here on Kira's stone. A little bit heavy, bumps it across the face of that back red.
Yep, just come in.
So now there's kind of there's a bit of a wall back there now behind the T line.
A little less. I'd love to see me inside that red.
Yep. Okay, line's tight.
I thought so too.
Marley
How's your
and
weight?
Luke communicating to one another. Thought Luke was a little bit tight on that throw.
I know, I should have gone in.
Go, go, go,
Big
go,
sweep here coming from Luke. Needs to get it by that guard, and they're gonna wreck on the guard. Maybe a little bit light there again from Luke. That's a few ends in a row that these come up just a bit short with that stone. So wonder if just underthrowing them or if there might be something going on with that stone itself as well. Regardless though, Jacob Horgan's now going to try and capitalize on that and bring another red stone around them.
Line's good.
Top 8.
Can't hurt it.
All there.
Yep.
All there.
Yep.
Jake saying that it's all there, but Kira wanting them to go a little bit for line.
Right there. Nice shot, Jason.
And this is going to pop out the other side. Might leave an opportunity to move a bunch of those stones.
Throw a yellow back.
Probably wasn't enough ice. I gave you like a quarter into the 12.
Yeah, just jamming.
It's just a like really different line if you can sweep it early versus
Yep.
like no broom.
I don't mind it though. Which one?
O-turn draw to the back one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
We haven't really thrown that.
They decide against throwing a run back,
First one down.
and instead they're going to throw the out-turn draw here to one of the back reds. Put this in a spot where it's going to be very difficult for the Ontario duo of Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan to remove.
Wait's good.
He is
Yep.
back there. I think I'm going top bottom.
So just stand
Line's good.
Wait's good.
Line's good.
See?
Straight. Straight.
Come up.
Luke with another big sweep here, trying to drag this back far enough.
Nice shot.
Try to chase with the intern.
And it leaves it in a good spot, though.
Good.
That's good.
through the hole.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Based on the amount that we've seen rocks curling, though, that is definitely not completely safe there.
Back 12.
Jake is going to try and throw a soft hit through the hole and bump that yellow out of the forefoot.
Yeah. That maybe.
Just a bit more.
Oh, it's in the same shot.
Yeah.
I'm loving that spot.
Yeah.
Jacob Horgan now with his third stone in this fifth end.
Clean.
Back line.
Clean. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Curl. Whoa. Straight. Straight.
He's going to get through the hole just barely. Was that ever going sideways? And he bumps it back far enough for Red to sit two.
Yeah.
Think you need a little more ice ahead of you here.
That
Yeah.
was very,
Difficult
very close
pass.
getting past that center stone.
True.
Gonna get a great view of it here. Jacob trying to make a curl and then just barely gets it past.
Yeah.
You could
But
run
it does the job. Sitting two and with another stone in a great position,
ice.
biting
Right
top
stars are
forefoot.
good.
Yeah, and this could be a late curl go.
Yeah.
Take lots of ice.
Just to the back one, I kind of like your versatile.
A little less.
I
Like
had you here, and you didn't get
Yeah,
by
just
that.
like a little
so-
less than where you had.
Could just try to like sit two
Oh yeah,
right
if you
type off.
freeze on him.
So Luke Saunders now going to try and
Right?
loop one around the top red one.
Try a double PO.
The top four red one, I can specify.
It depends if
Where
you're
do they
And with the amount of curl again that we're seeing, it's absolutely doable.
Little for no, line's good.
watch how this runs.
Line's good.
It's good.
It's bound to start getting quicker.
Close. Yeah.
I need all the back
Whoa.
one.
Whoa. Curl
need the
then.
back one.
Curl then. 14-3.
Luke's saying that it's a little bit heavy and they need to go to the back
Curl.
one.
Nose of ours. Go, 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 go. Okay. Good.
And he goes to the back yellow. Red is still sitting one.
And I can run.
It's okay.
It's just if I don't get,
Like two here's huge if you
yeah, it's kind of why I'm
Just a little bit heavy on that throw.
she's gonna go here again. I might not be able
then
to.
you have gone.
Yeah. Just if she gets.
Now Kira and Jake are
Okay.
stuck with a decision. You could hear Kira
If I don't
say
get-
that
if I don't get second, they guard, then
a
there's
score of
no
two would
two.
be
Well,
big
there's
for
two
them
guards.
this
I have
end.
2 runs. If you like the peel, I'm good.
Okay, let's go top button.
Okay.
But also maybe an opportunity to score more than 2, depending on how these next couple of stones play out.
Yeah, he took more, and he would have overcurled if he had good weight.
Okay, it's tricky to get over there, so.
So Jacob Horgan with his last stone, I believe, is looking to try to freeze onto the stone that Luke Saunders threw.
So if he makes it, we're just trying to like.
Hello?
Weight's good.
Hello?
T-line. Back button. Weight's good. It's coming down. Gotta go.
Jake saying that the weight is pretty good. Coming down and curling quite hard. Jake trying to make a curl up. And did they get it far enough to sit second? I think so.
The right other shot is this.
I thought
But I think
there.
it's pushing
It's a good spot for that rock regardless.
still be for 4 though. If
Sorry?
they can get it.
Wait again.
Yeah.
And now if you are Marley Powers and Luke Saunders, this is a tricky situation here. Ontario's building up to a potential big score and gonna have to be very careful with this last one. Not many options really to bail either and try and eliminate some reds.
It's hard to hurt ourselves if we're corner.
It looks like they're gonna go for
Starting to get a
the
little
same
straight.
Yeah.
freeze
Yeah,
that
that's pretty
we've
good.
seen here on the last couple of stones from Luke and then with Jacob.
Also seeing through the hole for. Like if we go, but if we tap their back button yellow into the back 4 one, I think ours and back 4 will have down.
Marley Powers here has been great with her draw weight so far this game.
So I'd have 14.9 on his.
And going to be tasked with another big draw here.
Are you seeing for a broom? Just inside middle?
Yeah.
Like prepare themselves out if I can throw anything hard. See where she goes. She's freezing.
Their last stone here in this fifth end, with the Ontario duo of Brunton and Horgan
Gap line.
looking to be building up to a potential big score here. Marley Powers is looking to put a stop to that.
Curl. How heavy are you?
Not too bad.
Okay, it's bound. It can't bounce.
Little bit heavy, but this might not be too bad.
Okay, Merrill.
Okay.
Bumps it a little bit, but
Through the hole.
Red was sitting too before that as well, so that's moving it a little bit closer to the button is not the end of the world. But what do the options look like now for Jacob and Kira?
Yeah.
It looks like you might be able to nose the yellow that Marley just threw,
Like to get this one out
and that could be for
only for 3, I think.
potential 3 points.
What happens if I throw that hard?
Oh man, is there ever a world where you could throw it hard like they're talking about and
Let's go top.
have the back yellow kind of spin up? Looks like that would be quite difficult.
What were you saying on my come around there?
On your first one?
Yeah, just when you were saying, oh, I should have.
But regardless, the Ontario duo of Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan are sitting 2 here as Kira's going to throw the last stone in this fifth end.
What do you think?
I just think like it's just a get to nose with just enough weight. Like I don't think we can use theirs.
Okay. Back 12-ish?
Sure. Okay.
Back 12 weight coming from Kira Brunton, just trying to move the yellow far enough to bring their red stone into play for 3 points.
Whoa! Clean! Yup!
Oh, my apologies.
Whoa!
Coming
yup.
down the other side here.
Yes!
Playing the tap the other way.
Whoa!
Just through this same hole that Jake threw in earlier in the end.
Good shot.
A great shot there from Kira Brunton. A great sweep from Jake.
Yep.
And it's going to be 3 points for Ontario here, as Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan take a 5-3 lead here at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championships.
Let's go intern side, babe.
Sure. We're going to use our power play here.
To think we learned to put one foot
Heavy.
Well then, close. Clean. Yep. Clean. Curl. Whoa. Straight. Straight. Straight.
Bury that sucker.
Yeah.
Intern.
Good shot. Really good.
Edge.
So you take what you want. It's gonna curl.
Yeah.
I can walk these a little less than edge. It's past center line.
Yeah.
Nice,
Okay.
Marley. Good start.
Edge, edge, sorry.
Back 8. Do you want to just make a good one, or what do you want to do?
See now, turn freeze.
We're back now for the 6th end of this Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship round-robin matchup between Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan, who have a 5-3 lead over Marley Powers and Luke Saunders here.
Line's nice.
Moving across to some of the other scores.
Where?
Neil and McDonald took
Line's
one.
okay.
They are now down 4-2 to Loken and Tanaka. Lenatine and McFadden have taken 3. It's now an 11-3 game over there. And Watson and Belland have taken a score of 1 against Jones and Lang. It's a 6-2
Can you
game
just go intern
for
corner?
Jones and Lang there.
Yeah?
That looks good to me for now.
Hey,
Double if they're frozen. The side one.
Where is it?
back tee.
So
West ice.
Marley Powers and Luke Saunders opted for their power play.
Keep that angle, and then maybe we can come off the side eventually.
Okay, line's good.
So
Like-
the play is not being drawn quite to the center of the sheet, but a good throw by Kira Brunton to make the corner guard tick almost, I guess is what you would call it. And now play is back around the center. But Marley Powers and Luke Saunders
Fighting top
have
four.
a few of their yellow
You ever
teams
just
in
make
play
that?
now and trying to score their multiple points.
Get slash the wide double.
This one, yeah.
Yep. What is it?
I'm
No, like
seeing
slash
slow.
it.
Yeah, this way.
Yeah, like a quarter, third.
Yeah.
Okay. More.
It'll fall here.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at it.
So Jake gonna take a stab at the double takeout here. Try and get a couple of these yellows moving.
Yep. Clean. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, stop. Nice shot.
And he makes 2 of them go away.
Good throw.
Red sitting 1 just behind T-line there.
Well, you get it out by it being angled on it.
And like with the run, you mean?
Well, I'm throwing for 2 more rocks, so we still have some time.
Great shot here from Jake.
You can do that.
See how quickly he popped up out of that delivery and catches up to the stone to be able to sweep it. That is not easy to do.
Do you like the hit and roll?
Sure.
Okay.
Board.
Yeah.
Control, like 11.
Yeah, 11.
Okay.
Hit his shooter.
Yeah.
We're good.
Now Luke Saunders going to be
Block vest.
tasked with a soft, not a, I don't want to say soft weight, but a controlled weight sort of tap back.
I think we can, yeah, we'll bring them 2, and then we get 2 chances at a double.
Yeah. Like better to hit it thick.
Yeah.
Light.
Clean. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Curl. 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 Nice shot.
Taps the red over to the side of the 12-foot where it's no longer really a danger rock and rolls his shooter to the other side of the house.
See where you throw it? Oh, over here?
I like the intern.
Yeah.
Just maybe normal.
Sure.
12.
Go 4.
Oh, 4.
Nice shot there from Luke, and now Jacob Horgan is going to try and eliminate the that yellow shooter
I'll throw like 8.
that Luke just threw.
Yeah, but I'm hitting this 3 onto the 4 and rolling, so we're good.
Whoa. Whoa. You got nose. Nose is good. Nice, Jake. Good throw.
Jacob Horgan noses that yellow stone and Red sitting 2, but
Okay.
Yeah.
the Nova Scotia duo
Playing the same way you just played.
Crossing, it's great. It should be straight.
now in the room.
Okay.
Did use their power.
What do you think it's going to do
So
here?
Straight.
they definitely want to be scoring their 2 points.
10-5?
If we give up 2, do we use our
10-5,
power
babe.
We always do.
Get it low.
Yep.
A little less ice.
Yep. Hard line.
Good here. Luke calling out in the hack, 10-5. So a control weight shot. He's going to have to hold this straight.
Yep. Hard, 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 hard.
Hurt. It's perfect.
Ring shot.
It's absolutely nectar.
You were a little worried there for a second that it was going to over curl, but he makes the shot, and those yellows are split pretty much perfectly. Going to be difficult for Ontario to eliminate both of them.
11-4.
Couldn't have been better.
Actually, that
Maybe
might
we
be
should
borderline
make the last
impossible.
Put that jam there. Roll into the forefoot.
So now it is Kira Brunton and her last stone, and the last stone of this end for the Ontario duo. Looking to just eliminate one of these yellow stones.
Wait, whoa!
Yeah, if you want.
Whoa!
Solid.
Whoa! 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 Yep! Yep! Yep!
She hits and rolls just a little bit farther than she wanted to. Ideally wanted to stick there in the back forefoot and give Marley Powers a little bit more of a challenging shot for their second point.
Steven turn? Can I come to the back one there?
No. You can
Or
come to
we're
ours.
shot, right? We're shot, obviously.
We're shot, yeah.
So now Marley Powers just has to bite the forefoot for their 2 points here in the
But
sixth
just a
end.
straight draw, in
We go
turn.
the same
Okay,
side.
so like edge of 8?
Yeah, I would say a little inside.
Okay.
I think we go the same side.
At least it's morning.
Pretty good ad. Liked it.
Not really, no.
Weight's good.
Line's good. Not
Marley
curling
with her
yet.
last stone and Luke
Weight's
on
good.
sweep. All indications are that this is good.
Weight's great.
16-2, Jake.
Luke right off now, though. But that's going to settle in there, and there, Luke Powers and Marley, Luke Saunders and Marley Powers scored their 2 points here in 6 to tie it up at 5 at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championships.
That's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
They go center. Going around there.
We're approaching the home stretch here
2 is good.
in this round robin game at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship.
What's your gut?
Yeah. If
It's a
tight
Pool
guard,
D matchup here between Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan going up against Marley Powers and Luke Saunders.
and hopefully I can roll in off the tight one.
Kira and Jake are through to the playoff round here, sitting at a 5-0 record, and this being the final game of their round robin.
Corner freeze.
Whereas Luke and Marley are currently sitting at 3-2. A win here would guarantee them a playoff spot, whereas a loss would drop them to 3-3, where there could be a lot of 3-3 teams. So this is a big game for them to try and pick up the win.
Gonna need it.
Curling. Straight. Straight.
Horgan and Brunton opting for
curl.
their power play
I gotta
here.
get it there.
Line's good. Hard.
And Marley is going to come around that corner guard.
Nice lead.
Doggy.
Just comes up short.
Short?
It just curls there.
Yeah.
I can't tell for
Good shot.
Draw open. They still can't.
It's challenging because these players have been playing so much towards the center of the sheet all game. And then you're asking them to make a very precise shot out to the wings. And being a foot light can not get you into some trouble. Definitely not in trouble yet, but it's a bit challenging.
Yep. Yep, really curling.
So now Jake and Kira are going to split the house. This one looks a little bit heavy as Marley's now going to try and sweep it out the back. Doesn't quite get it all the way through, but it is back 12.
Nose bump.
Yeah.
Try.
And now with
Just run like T-line.
Luke Saunders, he's
Give me
going to
the
try
ice you
and
had.
bump Marley's
And if I'm
Yellowstone
beside it,
that
it's okay.
she came up with, you know, a foot light on her first, just a little bit light, but still in a really good position. And now they're going to try and use that stone to their advantage.
Play felt good.
Clean.
I can bump it.
Clean.
Play it tight.
Whoa. Curl. Easy. Straight. Straight.
Get ready on ours.
Luke Saunders on the
Curl.
sweep.
Get ready on ours. Straight.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Curl it. Curl it. Curl it. Curl it.
Move it. Come on, baby. All right.
Makes the tap.
Are they shot?
Doesn't quite move it far enough.
I'm working here, B-Mac. Here.
It's really close.
Freeze to one of them.
It's a complicated.
Yeah.
Langer's
Try to
watching our
drop.
game
Try
more.
to drop beside theirs.
You're-
Where'd he take?
Close
You can
to
see
here.
Luke there having a bit of a laugh after that. He's been working hard in this game.
Felt there.
Mine's good.
Top 8.
Jacob Horgan now with his second stone of this
Top 4.
7th end.
Chisel the top.
Curl. Oh,
And they're waiting for it to curl.
oh, yep.
Needs
Oh,
to
oh, oh, oh,
Just rubs off the yellow. Look at the spin back on that
Get
red.
both.
We were talking about how some of these rocks are curling so much. These sharp stones spinning back
Yeah,
quite a
just easy
bit.
peel.
And now this might give Luke Saunders an opportunity here. Is if you get this thin, I think you can eliminate both of these red stones. So
Oh no.
that would kind of get them out of jail here.
Hard. Okay, that worked.
And
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
not exactly how they drew it up, but that does the trick. The little redirect off of their top yellow
keep
eliminates
that.
both of the reds. And now
Is that
it
a good
is the
shot?
Ontario duo of Claire Brunton and
Yeah,
Jacob
they're
Horgan
all really
looking at
close
where they
together.
can put their stone.
Just a hair less.
Yeah, just a little bit tight maybe on that throw.
Oh, it was close. Yeah.
Yeah, I just.
Still gets both of the reds that he's looking for.
Sorry about that.
And on to the next one. So now Jacob Horgan here in a tie game. Still a corner guard up for them to use. But this does need to walk over here. Needs to curl a bunch at the end. Looking to bump that yellow. And he is going to do so.
Nose, or I think kind of you can roll this way a little, it's good.
Yeah, just that intern, Marley. It's nice and straight here.
A little this way.
The intern.
Okay.
Less ice. It's not curling here. This is the same spot as my out-turn pass.
What kind of weight are you throwing?
10-5.
Okay.
Nose is fine.
Yeah.
So a nice control weight takeout here coming from Luke Saunders. You heard the 10-5 call.
Clean.
10-5.
Clean.
Looks like it needs to curl.
Yeah, you can curl it. Curl.
Now Luke needing to get this to curl. They're looking to get this on nose.
Nice shot. That's fine.
And just about does that.
Yeah, that was good. It's just straight there.
Yeah. Good.
Just get ready to make a shot. I'll get this over.
So now Jacob Horgan and his last stone. They're looking to come around the corner guard again.
It comes off.
Needs to sit. Fuck off.
Saying that it just needs to shed some weight, and this does look heavy. Luke Saunders is going to sweep that red one through. So a mistake there from Jacob Horgan, and it's going to give Marley Powers now an opportunity to really put the pressure on here in the seventh end.
Makes the double then.
I'm just thinking, do we want hammer when we come home?
Yeah. Make them think a little bit, like.
The discussion there from Luke, do they want Hammer coming home? I think they'd be quite pleased if they had Hammer coming home.
Yeah, turn.
Turn's good.
Even just biting's fine, tight's fine.
Yeah.
Just don't want to bring
If
it
we
in
can't
too
get
far
shot
or make the double.
with the double, we can draw heat.
I guess that's okay too.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a tight guard here, maybe just biting the top 12 from Marley Powers here. Her final stone here in the seventh end.
Yeah, that's okay. Line's good. Line's good. Curling now. Always
Weight's
straight.
good.
Always straight.
Place this.
Yeah. Always straight. All you. Over curling.
Okay, just a guard.
Over curling. Just needs to sit.
You can hear the great line communication there from Marley back to Luke.
Tap it a little.
Yeah. We've played this intern.
And puts that rock in a great spot.
A bit better.
It's pretty perfect.
Don't I? Or no? It's like dead on.
Yeah.
I'm good with either. You think we know the intern better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a back 8? What do you think?
What's your plan?
Back
Really
8,
good
back
end.
4.
I don't know.
Just have to
So
move it,
Kira
like,
Brunton here with the last stone in the seventh end. Going to be throwing back 8, back 4 weight, and trying to bump that stone that's currently on the button to try and score their one.
Again, they're probably just thinking hit deep, but
Yeah.
maybe closer to middle 8.
I like your first
Get some
thought.
momentum.
yeah, that's true.
Seems like just through.
Little wide. Close. Yep. Yep.
Just through?
Yes. Well. Yep. Straight.
Maybe a little bit heavy out of the hand from Kira, but Jake now having to sweep this to keep it straight. A good sweep to get it by the guard.
Nice shot.
And that's going to be a great shot from Kira
On,
Brunton to
Sherry.
score their 1 point here.
Beauty.
Brunton and Horgan take a 6-5 lead into the last end here in round robin play at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship.
Good job, Marley.
Yeah. Good end.
Coming down.
Yeah.
Throw some nice draws.
We are back for now the final end. Well, maybe not the final end, the 8th end of this round robin
5 seconds.
game here in the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship.
I feel like the
There are a few other close games still on the ice as well.
Lock it right on.
Neal and McDonald have come back and now lead Loken and Tanaka by a score of 5-4. Tremblay and Lanou have beaten Lenatine and McFadden 12-3.
Yep.
back four.
Yep.
While the other game that remains on the ice,
Back 12.
Jones and Lang are up 6-4 on Watson and the Land.
No, curl. Whoa. Curl.
Good shot.
Okay, we're gonna have some space here. to
Kira
deal with,
Brunton
Marley.
makes
Get a corner here.
the bump with her
No turn.
first. And now Marley Powers is going to try and follow her down and freeze onto it.
Nice speed. Lock it on.
Straight freeze.
Yeah. Corner freeze would be awesome. Straight freeze is fine.
Big eye.
You let me know what you get.
Weight's good.
Curling. Yep. Line's good. Line's good. Weight only. No backing.
Okay, I want to be into it.
Okay, curl then. Curl.
And here
Okay.
again, that
Great.
communication between Marley and Luke.
Hard.
Yep. Trying to get
Hard.
shot.
You got it.
Luke needing to drag this one
Drop
there,
in.
and he's going to do that. A great shot there
Good,
from
good,
Marley
good.
Powers. And now this is a big rock from Jacob Horgan, looking to go down and freeze on top of those two rocks. Really try and strengthen the scoring area. A little bit of a stumble out of the hack.
Close.
Looks like me on a typical Thursday night.
Close.
Weight's good.
Close.
Top 8 right now.
Line's good. Get it here.
Top
Yep.
4.
Yep. Hard line.
Top button.
Hard line. Line's good.
Jake popping up with the sweep on his own stone here.
You go little.
And he's going to walk the stone right down on top of the yellow. A great shot from Jake Horgan.
Yep.
It's looking like the
And again, that's a really key shot in these ends. Try and narrow down that scoring zone for Powers and Saunders.
Stay on our side.
Okay, line's good. Little tight. Yep.
Line only.
Luke
Nice
Saunders
hit.
now at
Yeah.
his second,
Line
sorry,
only.
his first
Oh,
stone.
no, it's a light.
Okay, straight, straight, straight. 16.
And again, telling Marley that a little bit light,
Might dump it.
Okay, nice weight.
but he was able to
Like on
get
the
there.
nose?
That wasn't a bit light.
T-line.
Yep.
Great shot there from Luke.
This is like 2 broom heads less. Do you like that?
Sure. Yep. Like same weight probably.
Yeah.
No, it sounds like Jake here is going to try and lock one on top again.
Very similar.
Room. Room.
Top 4. T-line.
Room. Looks close. Curl. Curl.
Jake calling out T-line Wade, and they need it to curl a little bit.
Okay. Good, Jake.
Just a little bit wider than they would have wanted it.
Angle them up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You got it.
What kind of weight?
It's good
Oh, you
weight
drove
there
hard.
from Jake.
A little low.
Unfortunately, this will move their yellow. This will move their yellow into a better spot.
So now Luke Saunders is going to try and maneuver some of these angles around a little bit. You heard that discussion before he went down to throw this stone.
Yeah. With the out turn.
Whoa.
Said door.
Curl. Curl.
Spot that gets going.
Hard curl. Hard curl. Keep going. Keep going. You're moving it. Hard
Marley
nose,
calling for the
hard.
curl
Hard,
all
get
the
nose,
way.
get nose.
And Luke's getting it to curl.
Okay.
Successfully unlocks that top stone that was there. Moves the red one now behind the T line.
I thought it would walk.
I think we want to block.
Bumps
like
their
that
yellow
side
out
back.
into the open on the other side.
Yeah.
And now Jake, with his final stone here in the 8th end, is going to look to freeze onto
Yeah, like,
the
we want our line
top,
to be on this
those
side of
3
center.
stones that are on the button.
This felt like men.
And Jake asking for a little bit more ice here. We've seen these rocks throughout this game curling a ton at the end. In particular, one of the stones from this Brunton and Horgan team.
Easy early. Line's good.
Weight's good.
Line's
Top
really
8.
good.
Top 4.
Little bit max. Little max line. Whoa.
Jacob Horgan looking to lock on
Just sweep
this
it for weight.
stone to the 3 stones that are in the 4-foot.
Line's good.
Need it to curl over a little bit more. But that's a great shot from Jake.
Okay, Marley.
That'll do the trick.
Then. Go turn.
Yeah.
See it?
Yeah. What kind of
And
weight?
get in.
What kind of weight?
It doesn't have to be a cannon. It's just, you know,
Do you think like the same as you just threw?
normal.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind some weight just because I'm going to be kind of tight in this.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's a
You
shot.
can hear the
huh?
discussion
Yeah, I
there
like
between
it.
Luke
Okay,
and Marley
it's
on what
negative
weight to
ice.
throw.
Let's have that yellow into the.
Go through the guard.
Yeah.
Unless you can spring that.
9.5.
If you just roll
Yeah,
it,
even a
like,
10's okay.
Okay.
could be a guard hit shooter.
So Luke going to be throwing about normal weight here. Try and, sounds like come off of their yellow stone and then
Okay.
off of the
Please.
red.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Whoa, whoa. Curl. Curl, hard curl. Whoa. Curl, 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 curl.
Gonna make
curl,
contact
curl,
with
curl,
that yellow
curl,
stone
curl.
first. Trying to get it to curl.
That's good.
Comes off the back of the red a little bit.
Or we can just block this
Good.
side. Oh, good call.
They were probably
Yeah.
looking to get that a little bit thinner.
Pat.
It's really hard. It'd be like tap into this and it's a measure for 2. It's probably us if she straight taps. She
Yeah.
kind of has to move
Nice
this. But then
Yeah. This side is all good for us.
It was close, eh?
So Kira and Jake now looking at what their options are
Do
here.
you hate that?
They have a timeout
You do hate that? Or you like it?
I don't
and
love
they
it, like,
have opted for their
if our
timeout.
shooter rolls this way at all and they have access to this one, it's probably a 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Like this is really, really hard for 2. I don't even know if it's there as it is, so I think we guard.
I think it might just.
Yeah.
The coach of this Ontario team is Kimberly Tuck. plenty of mixed doubles experience and mixed doubles wins under her belt.
Yeah,
I think we want to
like,
be
the
pretty
hope is
wide.
you hit it into the four and it spins
We
down
probably want edge of 4 line.
a little bit. Like a hack
Like I
weight.
want to cover.
And it sounds like they are just going to guard this side.
Tight guard?
And by this side, I mean the left-hand side as we're looking at it.
Tight guard is
Yeah.
great.
That was a pretty good throw.
But I think she might be running like a run tap.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah.
Assuming that Marley Powers would be trying the tap on that yellow.
Okay, edge of 12?
Just a bit more than that.
Okay, I like that.
Time out after this rock.
Final stone of this 8th end for Kira Brunton and Jacob Horgan.
Should be there. Tight.
Good. I got there.
Yeah.
Little bit
Coming
of
down,
room.
weight's good.
Little bit of room.
2,
There.
3. 3,
Close. Yep.
2.
Yep. Yep. Good. Stop.
And Kira's going to put that guard in a good spot. And now, what do you have if you are Team Powers and Saunders here?
Yeah, but Marley, it might be the run.
Really, really tough.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because.
What is available for them? There are a couple of guards that are just out of our view here
Hit this thick, roll down
that they're talking about running back.
Because honestly, it's more the 4 that's the issue than the 8.
Here's a great shot of it.
Hack, like
You
board
can see
hack,
if Marley runs back that right-hand side
try and
red
hide into
stone
this,
into
it down.
the yellow that's top 4, might be able to
hair high.
pick out the red and potentially leave her yellow there,
Board.
or at least move the red
Board
enough.
hack. You don't want to, yeah, board hack.
It is certainly not an
No,
easy
you don't
shot,
want to.
though.
Less. Yeah. 4.
But it's pretty low risk. They're going to attack this with a hack weight. Again, if Luke Saunders and Marley Powell are able to get 2 points here in this end and the win, it will guarantee them a playoff spot.
How much off the rock for ice? Like,
Yeah, broom head. Yeah,
Currently
got
sitting
it.
at a 3-2 record.
Just try to have time to talk about what we do depending on the
Final stone here in the 8th end for Marley Powers. Trying to make the soft weight tap back for 2.
catch the guard. That's a pretty good shot.
clean. Whoa. Clean.
The off and on sweep from Luke.
Whoa. Yeah.
Now sweeping.
Come on.
Try, Marley. Great job.
And just
Really
needed
close.
it to curl a little bit. That was
One lemon.
great weight, though, from Marley Powers. And we're going to go to an extra end here at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championships from Surrey, British Columbia. We're back here for this extra end in the final game of round robin for both of these teams at the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championships. Across the other sheets earlier, it was Neil and McDonald's picking up a 6-4 win over Loken and Tanaka. You had the Tremblay and Lanoux duo winning 12-3 over Lenatine and McFadden.
What are you thinking?
And then you had Jones and Lang beating Watson and Belland 7-4. This game with some playoff implications.
Thank you.
Kira and Jacob are currently 5-0, and they've already locked up a playoff spot. But Marley Powers and Luke Saunders here, they're sitting at a 3-2 record. A win here would guarantee them a playoff spot. A loss here would put them to 3-3. And there is quite the cluster of teams at 3-3, or that could be at 3-3. So would put them in the thick of the playoff hunt for sure.
Line's good. Don't curl it. Line's good. Hard, Luke. Hard, Luke. Hard, Luke. Hard. Sit, 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 sit.
Okay,
Nice
good.
sweep. Nice sweep.
Marley Powers
That's good.
putting this one just nibbling top button off a good sweep from Luke Saunders.
I might neither. Corner freeze?
I like take the guard.
Okay, let's play it. Just through?
Yeah.
I like it.
Corner freeze coming here now from Kira Brunton.
See him half?
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Clean. Yep. Hard. Hard. Whoa. Clean. Whoa!
Great shot.
Doing good.
Put it back.
Or it was actually the planned tick. My apologies.
There.
Moves that rock off of the center line and rolls their shooter into the house.
Okay, sorry, I got light.
Yeah, a little for line. Push it out.
What do you need?
Line's good. Line's good. Line's good. Whoa, 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 whoa.
So
whoa,
now
whoa.
Luke and Marley trying to replace that guard.
Good week.
Thanks.
Of course, they're trying to steal this in the extra end.
That's okay.
Okay. What is it?
Looks like a half to me.
Okay.
Thick half is okay.
Jacob Horgan now with his first in this ninth end, his extra end. And he is looking to eliminate some guards now. And eliminate guards he will do. Gets rid of both of them, rolls his shooter out. And that's about as good as you can do with that.
Yeah, I just
A
like
great
it.
shot from Jacob Horgan.
So if they're... Is they're perfect? No, is that like trying... If I high side POA.
Line's good.
I do
Yeah, a
have
little more weight.
double buttons,
Okay,
so-
line's good.
Weight's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Curl a bit.
Weight's good.
Curl.
Luke Saunders putting up the guard again.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Shit. Nice shot. Good throw.
This one's going to just slip in.
Quarters? Hair high?
Yeah, just a hair high.
Yep.
They're the same.
And now Jacob Horgan going to try and eliminate both of them. You heard the discussion there, 3/4, a hair high. So definitely looking at eliminating both of these yellow rocks with the opportunity for him to roll his shooter out of the center line area as well.
Well. Yep. Yep.
Ah, it's rolling.
Thank you.
Gets rid of the one top stone.
Got a hair straighter? I thought that was going to be close.
Yeah. Just the center line.
I thought I was
area.
right on it.
You were. Yeah.
And now you guessed it, Luke Saunders going to be putting the guard back up. It is guard for your life at this point.
Weight's great.
Curl
What do you
a bit.
need?
Curl.
Heel, and then I'm gonna have you there drop.
Whoa, easy, easy. Line's good.
This sits really
Line's
high.
good.
I don't want to over curl
Yeah,
this.
okay, just let it sit. Just let it sit. Should be okay.
Looks pretty good here from Luke.
That's good.
Gonna just about split the center line, it looks like. Nice halfway guard.
Nice. Good
So
throw.
peel and then
And it's decision time now
peel
for
and then they go.
Kira and
like
Jacob.
here.
Do you just peel
Try
or
the button, but
do you try and make a
you can
move?
pick it now, and then you have a pick on your last if they're top button, or draw down to it.
Yeah, sure. Like, or
Could just throw peel, and if I catch the guard, I catch the guard.
how much do you have of it?
Not much.
Get a discussion here from
Like,
Kira
keep
and
your
Jake.
board and keep your shooter. I might
Sounds
have
like they're
something to
gonna
come
try
off of on my last if you
out
need it.
the Yellowstone that is in the forefoot, just biting the top button. And
Okay,
as
let's
Jake
pick it on
said,
board. I
if it
like that.
overcurls and he grabs the guard, then he grabs the guard. So trying to eliminate that Yellowstone that's
Like just board.
It's in behind the guard right now.
Maybe.
Okay.
with his last stone here in the 9th end. There's extra end. See the clock winding down for Kira and Jake, but they do have a timeout that they're going to be able to use for their last stone.
Yep.
So it shouldn't be much of an issue for them.
Yep.
A soft weight here from Jake. He's going to make contact with it. The yellow goes across the top of the red and pushes it to the back 12. Red is now sitting 2, but Marley Powers and Luke Saunders will be ignoring that, and it's going to be all about where they can position this final stone for them.
Kinda nice if we saw that.
Again, in this extra end
Because we've seen this side a lot.
of the final round robin draw for both of these teams.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
could just play the same thing into it, but it almost.
she can just play the same.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You just gotta,
You want me to call it?
I gave you
timeout
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I want to be like honestly, like touching the pin is okay.
totally okay.
Like right on the pin is pretty good.
You risk
Marley
it,
and
but-
Luke have plenty of time.
So I want.
In
like,
addition
touching
to
the
this
pin, I don't
timeout
wanna
that
be
they've
over
also
it.
taken.
Right there is great. Okay. Let's do
They're
it.
going to try and put this top button maybe another 6 or 8 inches further than where Marley's last one was.
And if you come back, I hear what you're saying, but honestly here, it's buried.
The guard that she's going to have to navigate around is about halfway. So definitely plenty of space for this rock to curl around it. You heard Luke saying you can get this fully buried. And try and bite the pin if you can. That's what they were talking about.
I see that.
I'd rather be high side than. Come
That's
low.
true, yeah.
It's probably a bit easier than the straight draw because we don't have to worry about line and weight.
Final stone here for Marley Powers in this 9th end now. Trying to steal a win.
Line's good.
I got good weight.
Okay, line's good.
Weight's good. Where you at?
Line's good.
Where you at?
Little bit of curl.
Weight's great.
Okay, line's good. Line's good.
Luke saying that the weight is
Curl.
great, trying to make it
Curl.
curl a little bit.
Curl, 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 curl. Sit, baby.
Okay.
That's good.
Good job, babe.
And it's going to slip behind the T line there, so it's going to give Kira Brutton an
Trying to draw
opportunity
down.
here
Good, good judge.
Yeah.
to draw the pin for the win.
The rock to curl, not necessarily.
No,
Line's
it's
fine.
good.
Yeah, I can hold it
Did it
in this
touch it?
spot.
Just a
Yeah,
little bit,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, she's gonna make a good one here.
Yeah.
Kira and Jacob have taken their
What are you
timeout.
thinking? Like, I think, like she was
just to be on the safe side here.
Yeah, I like back 8 for 1 and 6. I was just a bit less than that. So.
True. You like taking that same line?
Do you see that yellow one? Do you like edge of that yellow one, like inside edge?
Yep.
It's kind of like middle
I think
8.
you can get away with a hair glass.
Okay.
You can hear Jake and Kira
Yeah, it was nice game, yeah.
trying to figure out where they're placing the imaginary broom here. Of course, one of the challenges of mixed doubles, you don't always have somebody holding the broom at the other end. But Kira Brunton with her final stone and the last stone here in an extra end.
Back 8.
Trying to draw the pin for the win.
Whoa, where?
Back 8.
Whoa! Yup!
Jake calling out back 8 weight.
Clean. Just clean.
That's a thing.
Yep. Whoa.
This looks pretty good coming in.
Good shot.
Gonna use the backing.
Good game, guys.
And
Good luck.
Kira Brunton is going to make it.
Good game. Good luck.
Brunton and Horgan will take the win 7-6. They'll move to a perfect 6-0 record in Pool D, winning that pool while Luke Saunders and Marley Powers will drop to 3-3 and right back into the thick of the playoff conversation. Thanks for tuning in to this round of the Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championships. We'll have more action for you at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So tune in for that. Otherwise, we will see you in the next game.
Nice to play a
Good game.
I think.
Okay.
It's nice to play a close one.
That's true.
Yeah.
Speed held up.